Hello guys, let's continue the development of the garbage collector. So in this session I will talk about the latency and the throughput. So this is the time of the execution time of the user program, this line, and this is the time that it takes to execute some X program. So here without garbage collector, so we don't have any garbage collector running in that script. So after we develop the garbage collector will take some proportion of time from the time of the execution of our user program, and in this time, in this frame of time, the user program is suspended, so it is stopped until the garbage collector will finish, and then it will give some times to the user program running, and also we have another trigger of the garbage collector that take some time, and this we call it latency. So the latency is the longest continuous chunks of time when the user program is completely paused while garbage collector happening. So this is the longest continuous chunk of time, and in that time the user program is stopped until the garbage collector finish, and this is what we call latency. So the throughput is the total fraction of time spent running user code versus the when garbage collection. So this is the throughput, the time that we treat the user program, as you see here and here and here. So we have a trade-off. So we can give much more time to user program and a lower time to garbage collector, and that would introduce a lower latency, but the cons is that if we have a more object or more allocation user program, then the program will fail. So we have some trade-off. We need to make some equality between these two things, the latency and the throughput. So to solve that, I will go to vm.h, and I will add one more property called nextGC. So this nextGC will have some number, and it's like a threshold. So when the bytes allocated it's greater than the nextGC, so then we trigger the garbage collector, and then we update the nextGC for the next time. So let's go to vm.c. So in init I will vm.nextGC. I will do some random number. So I will go to memory.c. So we will not rely on stress. So as I said before, this macros is just for debugging purposes, just to stress the garbage collector to see if we have any issues, but the real implementation is we need to check if the VM bytes allocated is greater than vm.nextGC, then we trigger the collect garbage. Remember guys, I said we have a trade-off between latency and in this implementation to stress GC, it introduces a much more latency. So the user program will take a small portion in time to execute. So let's go to the function collect garbage, and in here I will update when the garbage collect it finish after sweep. I will update the next GC, so the next trigger will be the bytes allocated times some constant. I will call it grow factor, and I will add that in memory.h, and I will add that macro here, define gc heap grow factor, and I will give it 2. So the next GC, it will grow by 2 times. So the next time we have a trigger of GC, it will happen if we have the previous allocated byte multiplies by 2. So here also I will add some details to print. Okay, we go from that to that, and the next GC at that. So before this is, we go from this number of bytes to this number of byte, and we print the next GC when it will happen. So the next GC tell us when the next trigger of the garbage collector. So by doing that, so we fixed the problem of the latency and throughput. So we did a trade-off between these two. So that's it. So let's go to comment.h and let's uncomment this rest. This is just for debugging purpose and just for users that develop this language. Okay, so let's see. So I will run. So that's it. As you see, we have some allocation, and we don't have the garbage collector triggered, and this free it just happened because we use the free objects function that free every objects at the end of the VM, at the end of the execution. And as you see, we don't have any garbage collector trigger in here because we need the collection must be greater than that. See, so at the first time the byte allocated is smaller than next GC. So as you see here, we don't have any garbage collector triggers. So imagine that we have a bigger project that user make. So at that time we have a lot of allocation, and then at that time the byte allocated it will be greater than next GC, and we will trigger the collection and we free the memory if we have unreachable objects, and then we update that next GC to be greater and greater. So the next time we need a lot of allocation, and then we do the garbage collection. So that's it, guys. So guys, we've treated all of things about garbage collector, and we have now a complete language, and we've finished all of things and all of internals of the Ant language. And so guys, we have now the stable version of our Ant language. So see you guys in other session. Just